違いない。目の前に溢れ出す光のレドレミタンタンタンタン。お皿の上で踊って回ってピカピカ光り輝いてどうやって正真正銘 This is 江戸前フィッシュドレミタンタンタンタン。腹すかしてたまんねえ気持ちで指くれるだけじゃつまんねえ。開き出す寿司ゲートさワンステップ目まぐるしく回る世界の前で寿司ライカーたちのファイトマインが火花バチバチぶつかりそう始まり取りまくって食べまくって Don't stop wake up my way 崩れていく上がっていく赤魚浜やらワン踊ろうダンスダンスダンスダンス寿司でトライ掴んでいくバンスバンスバンスバンス弾んでいく赤魚浜やらワン踊ろうダンスダンスダンスダンス寿司でトライ。パーティー。
Of all its natural resources, one had value above any other, the dish known as sushi. Endless strife broke out among those craving its sublime taste. This strife exploded into open war between the Empire, who sought to hoard all the world's sushi, and the Republic, who hoped to share sushi with all the world's people. It became known as the bitter sushi struggles. After the Republic's defeat, the Empire strictly forbade all talk of sushi. To eat sushi was an even greater crime. That is where our story begins.
Hey buddy, what's up? Ultramag64 here, and today guys, I bring you Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. Now, this game is kind of interesting. I'm kind of surprised not a lot of people have been talking about this game. I thoroughly have been enjoying it. Now, if you don't know what Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido is, which is the really, really awesome sounding, but at the same time, just, it's a title. It's a title. But, if you don't know what it is, then I don't blame you. This game hasn't exactly gotten a lot of press, especially since it released relatively close to E3, where a lot of people aren't exactly looking at new game releases, instead looking forward to what is coming out in the future. But, that doesn't mean that you should overlook Sushi Striker. I'm just gonna call it that from now on because the full title is just too much to say. Like a lot of other games. But, anyway! So, what is Sushi Striker? Sushi Striker is kind of this lane-based, almost mixture of puzzle and RPG. So, for instance, you might be noticing a trend here. I have played this game way too much. If you follow me on social media, you know that I've been playing this game and I've been basically running through it, getting what are called the Rainbow S's, which are the best rank in the game for stages and whatnot. This is level-based, you know, kind of like your Candy Crush and whatnot. So, one thing I will say about the game is it's a tad on the easy side. Not necessarily that it's easy, because you can adjust the difficulty to suit you, and I'll get more into that in the future. But, I will say, if I did not handicap myself, I would have been really sitting there just kind of breezing through the game. The reason being is that you just have an abundance of health. Now, granted, this gets especially hard later on in the game. Now, I'm actually on Chapter 4 of the game. This entire area is kind of your starter area. Particularly the story starts right here, and you kind of travel along this entire snaking, winding path up to here. Now, we're actually at the next stage, which is this tropical area you see right up here, but we'll get to that in a sec. You'll notice that there is not only a letter grading system, but also a star-based system, which I detest so much. I hate letter grading systems to begin with, but I also hate star systems more because I have that weird personality quirk where I need to be perfect at everything. And therefore, it bugs me if I don't, as you can see. So yeah, that's basically it. So, we'll go ahead and try and run down basically everything you need to know about the game, and kind of my thoughts on the game since I've been playing it for so long. So here you have your sprite order. Now basically what these little munchkins are your sushi sprites. They are kind of these little deities of the world that basically make sushi. And yeah, if you can't tell from the story bits in the intro bit that I showed, then you probably can figure out this is not exactly the most serious of games. Essentially, what I like to think of this as is kind of a Saturday morning cartoon in video game form. Essentially, the plot and premise is not to be taken too seriously. It's not meant to kind of evoke all these emotions and whatnot. It's just for a fun, silly, wacky, good time. Now, one thing I will say is obtaining sushi sprites is a little bit complicated. Well, not really complicated, it's just you don't really get that many of them, at least I haven't, and I've been S-ranking all of the things. So basically, to obtain new sushi sprites, what you have to do is you have to do really, really good on a on a stage, and you have a chance of getting a sushi sprite. Now, you can actually increase your chances by getting what's called a plate, or I know it's called something more specific, but it's basically a plate, because that's kind of your, for lack of a better term, your Pokeballs, essentially. Now, you're not capturing sushi sprites like in Pokemon. What basically happens is you make a pledge with the sushi sprite, and then they're yours to command in battle. And we'll get to the rather unique battling system in a bit. This is probably going to be a really long video because there's a lot to run down. So you have your main sushi sprites right here, and then you have your reserve sushi sprites, which basically just up your defense, which I need a lot of defense, and I'll get to that in a sec. So essentially, each sushi sprite has their own level, their own skill level, and their own skills. So if we go over here, Sweet's Paradise, for instance, this one is is basically like a healing spell where it turns a lot of a big chunk of your sushi lanes into sweets, which replenish your health. And now, again, this might sound weird, but I will get to everything in a sec. It'll all make sense once we get into battle, but the problem is the battles are so frantic and hectic, at least I've made them that way, to basically, it's very hard to explain all this mid-battle. This one, Sushi Shield, is just what it says. It's a shield. It reduces damage. This one, Jiraiya's Sushi Bonanza, basically changes all your plates to a certain color. Now, you might be wondering, well, why is that necessary? Well, to attack your opponent in Sushi Strikers, basically you have to match colored plates together and build up enough of a plate and then smash your opponent in the face with it. And it's really, really neat. Once you get into the game, it's really, really interesting. Now, here's your loadout. This is basically what you have, what you can equip your character with, and you can play as either a boy or a girl. And what's really cool is, since they're both named Musashi, basically the story, you don't have to worry about that classic trope of they and them. No, it's the voice lines, which this does have animated cutscenes if you couldn't tell, but the voice lines and whatnot are done in both genders, so you don't have to worry about missing out on anything depending on which gender you want to play as. Now, lane gears. Now, what are lane gears? Basically, it controls how fast your sushi is going to go. I have a flowing gear, which basically, it's a steady gear that ramps up and keeps a consistent flow going. So that way, if you're on a roll, you don't have to worry about not having enough sushi. And being able to link more sushi and whatnot. There are different gears and whatnot. I believe this one allows you to go faster, and this one is your standard gear, and this one's a slower gear. So you have the option, if you find that the battles are too hectic, especially when I get into them, you might find that they are a little bit too fast-paced and you're not sure what's going on. You can always equip gears like these to make the game a little bit more easy to understand for younger players or people who just don't have fast enough eyes. which I really like. I love when games give you options to tailor your difficulty to fit your playstyles or what have you. That's really neat. Another thing you have is your favorite sushi. Now, your favorite sushi isn't just your favorite sushi. I love saltwater eel. I'm also a big fan of sushi, but I love saltwater eel, but it's not my favorite in the world. No, what it does is it decreases the amount of damage I take by 2% every 15 seconds. So basically, I'm able to take a lot more damage. Again, you'll see why I've done this in a bit. Now, you unlock different sushis as your favorite sushi, and each one has their own benefits and whatnot, depending on which one you choose. It depends on the loadout you're trying to build. For me, at least, my build is centered around this training black belt. Now, what the training black belt does is it's actually a hindrance. It's a handicap, essentially. Basically, it halves my HP, but increases my score by 1.5. And it's really, really nice for if you want to climb up to that S rank. It makes getting S ranks easier, but it makes battles a lot harder. And that's kind of something you have to keep in mind. There are other items, unfortunately, I can't seem to find anymore, and we'll get to that in a bit. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But you also have these revival beans, which are basically like sensu beans, which replenish your health if you die in battle, but they only can be used once. This item actually is like an equipable, basically. So, essentially, the way you get more items is either through battling or... That's it, essentially. There are also little passwords that you can get online, but there's not many out there, and I've actually used them all up. Now, that's kind of one of the weird things about the game. There's no, like, real shop to buy items and whatnot. You kind of just have to hope you get some, at least thus far in the game. Now, granted, I'm only on Chapter 4 of the game, but it's still not here, and I'm kind of concerned why. But anyway, you have your secret scroll here, which basically gives you your advanced tactics, your events, which you saw these are all the animated cutscenes and whatnot, and then your triumphs. Now, triumphs actually increase your striker rank, which you can see at the bottom there. I'm striker rank 3. To get more striker rank, what you have to do is accomplish these basically achievements. Now, I will say I don't like the fact that this one in particular is tied to multiplayer. Unfortunately, I can't get anybody online on this game. I'm not sure if it's just lack of player base, or I'm not sure if people just don't want to play online. But I just can't find anybody. I have searched and searched and searched, and nobody seems to be online when I'm playing. Which I don't like. I don't like that I have to basically be like, awesome, I need to get someone to play with me. Now, there is local multiplayer, so if you want to play with a friend, you can have that option. Unfortunately, for some of us, like myself, that's not exactly an option. But you have these other ones as well, which you can actually do. And I think... yeah, okay, cool. I was thinking I hadn't got that one yet. But then you have also this one, which raises Sushi Sprite to max, which will allow them to evolve and level up and whatnot, but I haven't got that way yet. And then there's also the Puzzle Hut, which is kind of this little side thing that it's kind of a puzzle game, which is kind of neat. This game is packed to the gills, no pun intended, with content. There's a lot here, and there's a lot to go through. So, again, we have a lot. So here we have our items. Now, these are actual things you win from battle, these EXP charms and skill charms. Basically what skill charms allow you to do, and I saved these just for this occasion, but say I want to level up Sushi Bonanza and make it better. So basically all I have to do is use this skill charm, and there we go. Leveled up. Awesome. Sushi Bonanza is now level 3. But say I want to make my Sweets Paradise last longer or something like that. Basically, I just have to use my skill charms, and there you go. Now I'm all out. And then you have EXP charms, which basically level up your sushi sprites. So this guy right here, this Inzo, or I could do it with Suno, but this guy I want to level up because he's the lowest level. So, okay, cool. Pop that, and there we go. He gets 2,000 EXP, so basically he's going to level up a bit. There we go. Or I could use this small charm to level up, say, this guy, because he's almost there. Well, okay, fine. Anyway, so then what you can do is, say I wanted to get rid of this guy for some odd reason. I could actually equip Suno. Now, Suno allows me to use link plates even if they are different colors in the way during, for 10 seconds, which would be really, really good And I'm curious, what's his defense? Okay, so that would actually give me a decent amount of defense here. Let's see, what's this compared to... yeah, that... I mean, it wouldn't be too bad of a downgrade. I think I might save this guy and level him and try and level him up, because I know he'll get better. He'll surpass this one if I can just get him in. I might put him in reserve. Let's see, 970. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Good for you. Put you there. There we go. Okay. And then over here you have your catalog, which is basically like your Pokepedia, essentially. Your... oh, I don't recall seeing you anywhere. Okay, whatever. Anyway, this is basically all your sushi sprites and whatnot. There's one in particular, and it makes me so mad. I can't get this one. And that's another issue I have with the game. I can't get specific sprites I want. I want this unicorn. I want it. It's a unicorn. I want to see its fully evolved form because it'll look cool. But I can't get it. It's annoying. I want it so bad. But, yeah, that's the other thing, is capturing sprites is kind of dumb. It's really kind of dumb. Because, like, there's no way to assure that you're going to get the sprite you want. Like, I grinded on... I think it was this one that I first... no, it wasn't. It was... was it this one or this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. I grinded on this one because this was the first one I saw him at, and I got the stupid cactus guy every time. And I was like, what the heck? So, yeah, you don't always get the sushi sprites you want, and there's no real way to get them without just random luck. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all, especially if you're wanting to build a specific type of team, you kind of have to rely on just sheer luck, and that's stupid. Anyway, so essentially what the game boils down to, and we'll do, yeah, sure, we'll do this one. We'll go ahead and battle this guy. So again, this part's going to be a little hard to explain because I can't stop. So essentially you have your 4 lanes of sushi, and what you have to do is match all your plates. So as you can see, I'm matching all these green plates right here, but you only have a certain amount of time to hold on to your plates before they're gone. And you also have to make sure that you keep an eye out for certain other things, like gachapons and whatnot. And if you hold on to a sushi too long, like there's a gachapon that he just got, and he also uses his skills as well, like, I think that was Runaway Lanes, which basically makes my sushi go out of control, and I can't really, like, keep up. But I'm used to having a faster lane, so it's fine. Now, see, as you can see, I've got... sorry, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. So see, I got a gachapon. And then I'll do Sweet's Paradise, but as you can see, my HP is lower than his. Oh, well, I totally wasn't paying attention. So basically what that is that's that black belt working its magic, and essentially making it to where I have a lot less health. And so to compensate with that, I've made my character a little bit tougher to kill. Because at this point I've got such a significant disadvantage from the other NPCs and whatnot, or my other opponents, that essentially I have to make sure that I'm able to stay in the game. Now, you can actually manually throw your plates as well, and essentially to do that you just hit X. Now, there's an ideal time to do that, and you might have noticed it, it's Sushi Bonanza, which basically is when the screen goes all rainbow and whatnot, and that is the ideal time because your damage is double. So see, I've got Sushi Bonanza right now, and there you go, I just killed it. But yeah, there's a lot to go on, and it's a little bit hard to kind of explain. Essentially, one thing I will say, and if you are getting this game, I would suggest this, but... darn it, I didn't get any of the stars. See, that's the problem. Anyway, so essentially, one thing I would suggest doing if you're wanting to get this game and you're kind of confused as to how the heck I just moved around that way, I would suggest highly you get the Pro Controller for this game. The analog sticks are a lot easier to move around with the game. You can use touch controls, you can use the Joy-Cons as well. The Joy-Cons are fine, but I found better luck and better control with the Pro Controller. But that's just me. Now, another thing there is, because there is a lot more to this game, I probably won't be able to get to all of this game in time. But, as you can see, here's the second area, and there's more. there's a lot more, as you can see. We can't explore over there, but there's a lot more. But anyway, we also have the Shrine Grove, which is that little island right there. This is essentially your home base. Here you can listen to advice, which I found completely useless because of half the stuff I've already known. You can do your puzzle hut, or you can do your online battles. And then you can also check on your striker rank and also enter your item codes. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any item codes, but there are some out there, especially if you visit the Sushi Striker website that I will link in the description down below. You can get yourself like 3 or 4 free items and whatnot, which are very helpful because one of them is a power plate, I believe, which essentially allows you to capture a sushi sprite. Anyway, so we have that. So we're gonna go to this new area because I've already cleaned this place dry pretty much. I mean, I've got all the S ranks except for one, and I'm like, I'll just do it later. So anyway, and I'll come back and do all the darn stars. I don't feel like doing that. But there is a reason to get the stars. Now don't dismiss the stars, because if you get enough stars in the area, I suppose, for lack of a better term, if you get enough stars in the area, you actually unlock a special hidden stage, challenge modes essentially. And they are challenging. This game does not play around. It will get harder and progressively more harder, and it might get to a point where I have to take off my black belt, which I'll actually show you guys what that's like. Actually, I should have showed you guys when we were back in the previous area, but anyway, essentially, here is our secret sprite here, right? I can tell right here, because that's a sushi shrine right there. But anyways, I'll go ahead, actually, I'll zoom out and go back to that other area, and I'll actually show you guys what it's like to play the game without the black belt on, because some of you might be interested to see, you know, what it's like. So I'll just pick a dude sure you. Oh wait, hang on, I need to unequip it first. But the reason I put it on is because I did not feel like the game was challenging enough for me. Don't get me wrong, the game is fun. I don't care that it's not challenging. It's not really, it's kind of an all ages type thing. You can make it hard, you can make it soft, you can do whatever you want with it. But here's why I took on that belt, because as you can see, I've got a heck of a lot of HP. And that's not just solely my my stats and whatnot, that is just me having a heck of a lot of HP. And I just felt like the game was a little too easy with all this HP, because literally I can just sit here and not worry about my health, and I can just keep going and going and going and going and going because I've got so much health. Now see, you might be wondering, like, is a better strategy to have more, I did the sweet spans. I didn't know what I did there. Is it better to value higher plate combos or just more plates? And for some, that actually is a viable option, to just throw all your plates at them, just all the time. Another is, there is a character, actually your rival essentially, who uses a 8-high plate wall, which essentially makes it to where you can only hurt him if you have 8 plates in a stack. So, in that particular case, you'll want to kind of hoard your plates and whatnot. And it just depends on how much damage you want to do, because the more plates you have in a stack, the more damage you will do. And dang it, you took the plate I wanted. But yeah, and also it's good to stockpile your plates because your finishing blow is reflected with how many plates you have stacked up. So it just depends on what you want to do. There we go. Oh, hey, I think I got the last star I had. I guess so. Whatever. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of why I took the black belt on, because I didn't feel like the game was challenging enough. Which is an odd statement from me, because I prefer just to play a game as it's intended, which, I mean, I guess this is kind of how it's intended. You can play however you want, which is nice. Anyway, so, yeah, that's essentially the game. It's fun. I adore this game. This game does have that one more level appeal to it. It has that ability to be like, awesome, I love this. And also, there are a lot of voice work, and there is a lot of voice work. Stupid grammar. But there is a lot of voice work to it, and it's a very high quality game. A little bit on the expensive side because it is $50. And that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for what this is. I would suggest getting it on sale, but if you're a hardcore, like, puzzle RPG type person, this might be the game for you to get on Switch, and you might just want to get it now. But that's just my opinion. I don't mind spending that type of money because I thoroughly have been enjoying this game, and it's super fun. It is also available for 3DS as well if you want to pick it up on 3DS. I have not played the 3DS version, but I hear it's pretty alright. The game's battle system does kind of lend itself better to touch controls. I just don't like them on the Switch because I think the Switch is a tad awkward to hold while trying to do the touchscreen stuff. But that's just me, but the game is completely playable with the touchscreen. Anyway, good, the Sushi Liberation Force is here. Oh, well, I hit the A button, oopsies. I can handle this, chump. Everyone else go on ahead. Goodbye. I think you'll be singing a different tune after you fight the troops in my division. Oh, now what? We use ghost sushi, which make the sushi on your plates disappear.
The point is,
stack plates all you want, but if you can't eat sushi, you can't fill your skill gauge. Yeah, that's also a thing. Now, one thing I do like about this game is the fact that every level throws something new at you. And they'll combine things and whatnot. It keeps the game fresh. It keeps you on your toes. This guy has new sushi sprites that I didn't know existed, and my health is half his health, and oh dear. Anyway, but yeah, essentially now he's like, awesome, now I have to worry about, yeah, see, I don't have any, I can stack all the plates I want, but I'm not gonna fill my special gauges, which might be a problem. But let me just grab all these plates. Okay, cool. Throw you. So yeah, I mean, essentially the game is this is the game. I mean, this is it. Yeah, he really kind of boned me over with that darn plate thing. Now, you might be wondering how I'm skating across the battlefield and whatnot. That is essentially when you pick a flavor of sushi and there's not any, like, around. Sometimes you can kind of skate across the battlefield and get more sushi on your lanes and whatnot. I need more sushi. I might actually lose this. I don't know. I need help. I need help bad. But yeah, see, this is what I enjoy about this game, is the franticness of it all. Like, you have to be on your toes, you have to know what you're doing, and by this point in the game, you should know what you're doing. And so, like, they're not afraid to kind of throw a curveball at you, so to speak. And I hate the electric zappers. I hate those. I hate that move so much because every NPC uses it and it dwindles my health down so bad. Oh, hey, I killed him. Yay, me! I didn't do very good, but I did okay. Awesome. Boom. Boom. Maybe a, yeah, S, but not a rainbow S. So I need to play this level again. And I also need to eat less sushi. Get some EXP, and there you go. The better you do on levels, the more EXP you'll gain, the faster you'll level up, yada yada yada, you already know this. But yeah, that's essentially it. This is, oh, hey, you're adorable. What the heck are you doing? Oh. Oh, well, bye then. Was that one of the local kids? Hey, come on, it's alright. I'm just throwing plates at people. It's totally fine. Also, I'm gorging myself on sushi. Where does it all go? Because I eat way more sushi than humanly possible. And I don't know where I put it all. I am a slim, slender female. I don't know where the heck it all goes. Because, I mean, sushi's pretty filling. Like, I could not eat... I could not win a battle in this game because I'm just like... I ate like 20 plates of sushi. I'm good. I'm okay. That's just one stack for this kid. I'm like... Where's this person put it all? And I'm an avid lover of sushi, and I don't know where it goes. It's just crazy. I'm a demon child from the pits of the sea or something. I don't know. Are you from the Republic? Nah. You could tell, huh? I'm Musashi, and I'm a sushi striker.
Doesn't that sound good?
Now that we've sent the Empire packing, we can have sushi whenever you want. You're giving us sushi? Yeah, also, if you couldn't tell, sushi's kind of like a outlawed thing here. Basically, the Empire kind of just takes it all. It's pretty sucky. Sushi's awesome. People need more sushi. I mean, I like sushi. I don't know if anybody... I know it's not for everybody, but I love sushi. Like, sushi's great. She's fantastic.
That's right.
You heard true. Eat to your heart's content.
It's sushi! Run away!
Summoning witchcraft! Witchcraft! Witch! Burn the witch at the stake! This is something I said? Nah, I think it's just the materialization of food just out of nowhere. Kinda flips people out a bit. I don't understand. All of you love the taste of salmon on rice. I mean, you're not wrong. Salmon on rice is pretty good. Not gonna lie. I love me some... That's my problem. My favorite type of sushi is just a slab of fish on rice. That's pretty good. I mean, I love... like, there is not bad... Well, I guess there is bad sushi. If you get gas station sushi, you're asking for trouble. But I mean, just like... If you go to a sushi restaurant, there's not a thing I won't eat. I will eat everything there. I'll have my favorites like squid and eel and... octopus and whatnot, but I mean, just, you know, you gotta have your favorites and you gotta have your not favorites, but you still eat them. It's sushi. You eat everything. It's great. Sushi makes the world go round. Oh, don't take it too hard. There must be something going on we don't know about. Yeah. Totally. Totally, yeah. But yeah, that is Sushi Striker, the way of Sushido. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description down below. As I said before, it is available for, I believe, the total price of $54.64, I believe, with tax, or your regional equivalent. It is available for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS. It is not coming to any other platform because I believe Nintendo actually publishes this or developed it. I think they actually did develop it and publish it, so, you know, this is gonna get demonetized out the heck, but I don't care. Anyway, I'm Ultramag64. Remember that don't let anyone stop you from eating sushi. Sushi's great. You should eat more sushi. Go to a sushi bar. I hope you're watching this whilst eating sushi. Because if you're not, then go do it. I mean, what's it gonna do? Eat sushi. Sushi's good. And happy gaming. I'll catch you guys on the flip side with more crazy content in the future. Bye-bye.
寿司神スタイル侍間違いない目の前に溢れ出す光の霊ドレミタダダダダお皿の上で踊って回ってピカピカ光り輝いてどうやって正真正銘 This is 江戸前フィッシュドレミタダダダダ腹すかしてたまんね気持ちで指くわえて見てるだけじゃつまんね 寿司ゲートさワンステップ目まぐるしく回る世界